Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Living in the Red Dot. This is May from Singapore. Today I have a bit of a different setup because a part of my room is being used for something else. Today I'd like to talk to you about Dior's Poison line. Now I don't have every single one that is in the collection, but I do have a few of them. The reason I'm picking the Poison line is because they've always reminded me of like kind of Christmas baubles, Christmas balls and Christmas trees, and they just, very festive looking. So if this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned. So the Poison Dior line is a very, very famous, very, very sexy line from Christian Dior, and it all started in 1985 when they released Poison Eau de Toilette. This one, I believe, is a 1987 splash bottle, so it's quite vintage and it's quite potent. Most of the perfumes in the Poison line are quite beasts in terms of longevity and sillage, but the vintage for sure are even more powerful. This one is an eau de toilette concentration, but don't be fooled by that because these ones just last a really long time. So I'm not gonna go over all the notes that are in Poison, the EDT, because there's just a ton of them. I think there's about like 25 notes listed on Fragrantica, but I will try and post it on this video so you can see it and pause it, or go to Fragrantica directly. So yeah, so this perfume, it's very dark and sultry. Belongs in the 80s and 90s, where everything is bold. Very good really for holidays, going out, events, galas. I think this is where the Poison line, especially this Poison EDT, is quite appropriate. Other than that, it can just be too strong. It really fills up the room. It smells very much of a plum, wild berries, very rich. Like I said, it's got the dark noir feel to it, but it's quite fruity as well because of the plum. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous scent from like the top notes to the dry down. It's so long lasting and so noticeable. People who have worn this before or know someone who have worn this before can easily recognize Poison EDT. So aside from that, I also have a small bottle of the Poison Extrait. This was released in 1990, so about 5 years after the original EDT was released. To be honest, I don't see much of a difference between this one and the EDT. I think this is pretty much just a more concentrated version of the original Poison, which I think is quite redundant because the original is quite strong already by itself. Nevertheless, it's a very nice scent, but I wouldn't go hunting for it. And I think it's been discontinued as well, but smells very similar to the original EDT. Next we have Poison Tendre. It came in a green bottle like this one. I think this is a 50 ml bottle. The notes on this are very different than the original Eau de Toilette. For a flanker, I think it really strays away from the original Poison. So I think like the Poison line, despite having the original Poison at the helm, it's more of a feel of the perfume, of being kind of strong and and strong, sexy, rather than keeping the notes and a certain type of smell going down the flankers. It's really more of like poison evolving to kind of fit what women or people want as time goes by. It's trying to evolve along with the times and people's tastes, but nevertheless, they keep their tradition of being strong perfumes very recognizable, very upscale. So Poison Tendre, this one's also an eau de toilette. It is much lighter and much crisper than the original EDT, where this one is kind of dark, fruity plum berries. This one is brighter, lighter, more of a crisp white shirt type. It goes with a crisp white shirt type of outfit. I think it can be appropriate in the office, but not for an everyday use. I think it'll be good for meetings with the boss or boss meetings, lunches and such. Definitely something more of a formal event, formal event in the office, within the office environment. So, yeah, top note on this one is bergamot, mandarin orange. So that accounts for that lighter feel at the top, but the sexiness and femininity comes from the tuberose, which is in the heart of this one as well. So that is a running theme. It does retain a bit of sweetness because of the honey in it, but the honey is not that prominent. My skin usually has a problem with honey, but not for this one. So this is Poison Eau de Toilette, Poison Eau Tendre, released in 1994. Next we have Hypnotic Poison, 1998. This one, I think most people have seen this one. It's like one of the the poison apple from Snow White. It's gorgeous design. Of course, this is not a vintage one, but nevertheless, for an eau de toilette, it is quite strong and it's beautiful. It's really very vanilla, but it's smoky vanilla, and it's quite gourmand, but not like the modern gourmands that we have right now. Like not quite edible. It smells. It smells again. It smells sexy, kind of intoxicating type of scent. It's not in your face. It's more like kind of it likes to waft around the air. Like when you move, you get this sense of this sweet smoky vanilla. Again, I think this might be quite heavy for the office, but in certain times, like meetings, lunches and such, I think this is a very nice touch to elevate your presence or your outfit. So yeah, this one I would highly recommend you try if you haven't tried it before, and I think most perfume collectors would have this in their collection. It's just such a classic. It's gourmand but not overwhelming. Quite different from what we have these days. Again, this one has tuberose at the heart. It's got plum and coconut. I think coconut also adds to that kind of like light sweetness at the top. So this is Hypnotic Poison, released in 1998. Next, we've got, so now we're going into the 2000s. This is Pure Poison 2004. Beautiful white bottle here. Again, this is not vintage. And this is jasmine. This is all about the jasmine. This is gorgeous jasmine. Now this one is, I think, very office appropriate. Maybe not for a young girl, that young lady that just entered the workforce, but someone who has been in the corporate environment for maybe like 4 or 5 years or so, and have already have a presence in the corporate setting. This just beautiful, beautiful perfume. Again, most ladies would have smelled this one on somebody else. It's not overpowering, but it's long lasting and very, very pleasant. This one, I would pick this one over this Alien EDP by Mugler. This one is also all about the jasmine, but the jasmine in this one is really like in your face. It's great for clubbing, if you're still at that age group that does that. I bought this used, so I actually don't find myself reaching for this quite often. When I bought this, it came with a hair mist and a small a mini eau de parfum for, I guess, putting it in your purse. I just think it's overkill. I haven't even touched those, and I hardly reach for this one. The good thing about these bottles is they're refillable. So both are jasmines, but this one is the more elegant, sophisticated version of how jasmine is done. This one is more loud, out there, fun, and more, I guess, attention grabbing. Okay, so next one I have is Poison Girl by Dior, which was released in 2016, right here. So this one, the juice has gotten darker. Obviously it's got vanilla in the base, that's why it's gotten that dark. So this one, this I know, this is a gourmand scent. It is quite typical of the gourmands that you would see in the stores these days. It's quite similar to La Vie est Belle by Lancôme, maybe Jean Paul Gaultier, Scandale or La Belle, what else? Mont Guerlain, Victor Rolf Flower Bomb. So this is quite typical of the gourmands that we have, and I love it. It may not stand out as much, but as a Dior perfume, it is good quality, and it does have very good longevity for me. But again, that would depend on your skin chemistry. I have read some people say that this doesn't last long on them. So this one, you can go to the stores and try it out. This is available. So is the Pure Poison, and so is Hypnotic Poison, and Poison EDT. So those ones are pretty easy to find in stores, but there will be the latest reformulations. I'm sure they have changed. I'm not an expert on the Dior Poison line, so I don't quite know how potent they are before, but like anything else, they always start off really strong when they're first introduced, and then gradually formulations change. It's harder to get ingredients, so yeah. So best thing to do is just visit the stores. The Dior boutique would for sure have them. And I also wanted to add that there was one called Midnight Poison. I never got to smell that one, but I have heard a lot of people lamenting about the discontinuation of that perfume, and I think the model was Eva Green. She was a Bond girl, and she looks simply gorgeous and dark on that one. Like, I would love to really try and smell this perfume. I saw someone selling it, but wasn't quite prepared to drop that much cash for one perfume. They do say that it smells quite similar to YSL L, This was discontinued as well, but then it was brought back. So if you're interested, you can try and look for this one and smell it. It's a kind of flowery, woodsy, sexy for sure, but I think people are saying that the Midnight Poison is just has much more depth and kind of like darker feel to it. So another note, when I said that the original Poison EDT may not be appropriate for most places because it's such a strong, big perfume that fills up a room. So it's much more geared for big events like galas and such. This might be something else that you can look for. This is the Narciso Rodriguez for her L'Absolu. It reminds me a lot of Poison EDT, but a much more toned down version. Still sexy, and but you know, softer. Just it's a very, very nice perfume. This is the only one that works with me out of the Narciso Rodriguez for her line. But yeah, so this one is like, it's like a baby Poison EDT version. And that's it. That's all I have for you for today. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you do, please press like, subscribe, and share. Thanks. Bye.